We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Here we go. Back man. 180!
Check. Walk 54. Walk 54.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Come on, QB, come on.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Got his man, it's Arcega-Whiteside. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup, good for an Eagle first down.
Here we go, D. Man left, man left.
What's your son?
Throwing on first is Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Running with Howard. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Cowboys' 48-yard line.
Here we go. Back man. 180!
Let's go. Come, baby. I'm coming, baby.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On first down, they run with Howard. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
They find some open field here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Let's go, defense.
Hey, kill. 50, 40, 26.
On the draw, it's Pollard. And an alley to run. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. It's a big play for the Cowboys on 3rd. 65 yards on the ground. 1st and goal and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. T.J. Logan, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
27-yard line.
Go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Let's go, D.
This is Howard on 2nd down. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
There we go. Back man. 120.
I know he ain't got it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles.
Touchdown, baby. Keep it going.
So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the line and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction. Excellent block.
Following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Run for Pollard. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. We were just talking about him pregame. 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there. Another one in the 1st quarter.
He's every bit of what you described, and I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he has another 1st down as they get the ball down to the Eagles' 39.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 1st touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd down, it's Howard trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Two minutes gone by, 2nd quarter.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Touch, Louie!
Check 48's the mark. Here we go.
Wentz now on 1st down. They'll set up the screen to Howard. Howard has the 1st down and then some. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
A first down carry by Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
On 2nd and 15 now. Prescott. And his throw is incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun, looking deep for Elliott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now.
Now Wentz. Got him in, complete. This is Richard Rodgers.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch the 54. Hey, watch out, watch out. Check Mike 54.
What's his son? Wait, son.
From midfield, here's Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's got this down to the 35. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 35.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Wentz now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
I can't believe they...
Now Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Running from the gun with Howard. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. Oh, nope, never had a chance. Well to the right, no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. And, folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. And, off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Check 13.
Here we go, 46, 46.
Going to run again here with Pollard. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. trying to run for it with Pollard. And some space here. And out across midfield down to the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Throwing, Prescott. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the counter, Elliott. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
3rd and short yardage. Prescott going to take a shot for Gallup. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing now is Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey, complete.
They should have put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Howard, and he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and said, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Wentz now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 37-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Empty.
They'll go again with Sanders. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They run with Howard. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Go. 280.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, this is Howard. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Back now in Arlington. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd down and 12. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that will be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And it's no good, just short. He gave it a good run, but maybe a foot or 2 short of the crossbar. Man, it is a cruel game sometimes, as evidenced by that kick right there.
Yeah, this game has no remorse at times, does it? I have a feeling that when this left his foot, he thought he'd given his guys the lead. But that ball just kept moving on him. And in the end, you heard the sound, and he's denied by the goalpost.
And I think this defense knew what was coming, as he is smothered behind the line.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 36-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Prescott to throw it. Got his man there complete to Gallup. He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week, as he's got a first down as well. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Prescott now from the 50. Got a man. It's Brown. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And this one is right down Broadway. So make some room next to Tom Dempsey on the NFL's all-time field goal distance leaderboard. That's going to go down officially as a 63-yarder.
Let's not forget about David Akers, Jason Elam, and Sebastian Janikowski, too. So now Matt Prater at 64 has got a little bit of company up near the top spot. That was one heck of a kick right there.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
It's our time.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. That one complete. Elliott. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10.
At their own 23-yard line.
Go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just not any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Being chased out left. He'll run it, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. He's back to throw. This is caught by Jackson. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 39.
Pardon, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with this 4-point 4th quarter lead.
2nd and 6 at the Cowboys' 35-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Wentz to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything in.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down.
Watch your slant. Watch your slant. Watch your slant. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
Wentz going to go on 4th down. And he connects with Ertz. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They get 6 yards going for it on 4th, and now it's 1st and goal. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not.